Welcome to the Microsoft Power BI Data Analyst Associate PL300 Question Bank Series. In this video, I've got 10 exam-style practice questions lined up for you, covering the kind of Power Query data preparation, data modeling, DAX measures and time intelligence, report visualization, and analytics scenarios you'll see on the real PL300 exam. Each question comes with the correct answer and a full explanation, including why the wrong options are wrong. Here's how to get the most out of this. When a question appears, pause the video, pick your answer, then hit play to check yourself. Ready? Let's dive in. Question 31. Model the data. During performance analyzer testing of a report page for driftwood apparel, the analyst notices that a table visual referencing a wide sales fact table, 60+ columns, many unused in any visual or measure, takes several seconds to render, and DAX query view shows the underlying query scanning far more columns than needed. Which action, taken back in the data model, is the most effective way to reduce this table's memory footprint and improve performance? Option A. Add more slicers to the report page to narrow down the visible data. Option B. Switch the visual from a table to a card visual. Option C. Remove unused columns from the sales table in Power Query or by excluding them from load, keeping only columns actually referenced by relationships, visuals, or measures. Option D. Increase the refresh frequency of the semantic model. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is C. Remove unused columns from the sales table in Power Query or by excluding them from load, keeping only columns actually referenced by relationships, visuals, or measures. Here's why. Each column in an import mode table is stored and compressed independently, Vertipack column store. Removing unused, unreferenced columns directly shrinks the table's in-memory size, improves compression, and reduces the data the engine has to scan, which is a primary lever for performance optimization and matches guidance to trim unneeded columns/rows during data preparation and modeling. Now, why the others are wrong. A. Adding slicers changes which rows are filtered at query time, but does not reduce the number of columns stored in memory for the table. The model still carries the full width and its associated storage/compression cost. B. Changing the visual type doesn't change how much data the underlying table stores or how the model is structured. The performance issue stems from the model's width, not the specific chart chosen. D. Refresh frequency controls how often data is pulled from source, not how large the table is once loaded, and would not address a rendering performance issue caused by excess columns. Question 32. Model the data. An analyst new to DAX at Periwinkle Toys right-clicks on the sales table's amount field in the Fields pane and selects New Quick Measure, choosing the year-over-year change % calculation type and pointing it at the date table. What best describes what a quick measure does compared to writing the equivalent DAX by hand? Option A. The quick measure dialog generates a standard DAX measure automatically from a chosen template, and inputs, like the field and date table, and the resulting formula can be viewed and further edited in the formula bar like any other measure. Option B. Quick measures are a separate, non-DAX scripting language that only works in Power BI Desktop, never in the Power BI service. Option C. Quick measures can only be created for text columns, never for numeric fields like amount. Option D. Quick measures bypass the data model entirely and calculate directly against the Power Query source. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is A. The quick measure dialog generates a standard DAX measure automatically from a chosen template, and inputs, like the field and date table, and the resulting formula can be viewed and further edited in the formula bar like any other measure. Here's why. The Quick Measures feature offers common calculation templates like year-over-year change, running total, or average per category. After supplying the required fields, Power BI generates the corresponding DAX formula automatically and adds it as a regular measure, which the author can then inspect and edit further in the formula bar just like a handwritten measure. Now, why the others are wrong. B. Quick measures produce ordinary DAX. The underlying formula is standard DAX syntax, often using calculate, time intelligence, or other functions, and quick measures created in desktop are saved into the model and function normally when published to the service. C. Quick measure templates work on numeric fields being aggregated, like sums or counts, not exclusively on text columns. The scenario using amount is a typical valid use case. D. Quick measures still evaluate through the DAX engine against the loaded data model, the same as any measure. They do not query Power Query's source system directly at report runtime. Question 33. Visualize and analyze the data. An analyst at Palermo Foods wants a single-page executive view that shows exactly one KPI, total revenue for the current month, compared against the same month's target as a percentage, with minimal supporting detail, meant to be read at a glance from across a room. Which visual is the most appropriate choice? Option A. A 100% stacked bar chart broken out by every product subcategory. Option B. A scatter chart plotting revenue against employee headcount. Option C. A matrix with every store and every month as rows and columns. Option D. A KPI visual, or card with a comparison value, showing the current value, a target, and status against goal. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is D. A KPI visual, or card with a comparison value, showing the current value, a target, and status against goal. Here's why. The KPI visual, or a card visual paired with a target/comparison value, is purpose-built to show a single measure's current value against a goal at a glance, exactly matching the need for one prominent number with a target comparison. Now, why the others are wrong. A 100% stacked bar chart broken out by many subcategories introduces a large amount of comparative detail, which works against the goal of a single at-a-glance figure. B. A scatter chart is designed to reveal correlation or clustering between two numeric measures across many data points. It is not suited to displaying one summary KPI value. C. A large matrix with many rows and columns is a detailed, dense visual meant for exploration, not a single at-a-glance figure legible from across a room. Question 34. Visualize and analyze the data. In a matrix visual showing total sales by region and product category for Solstice beverages, the analyst wants any cell where total sales exceeds $50,000 to automatically display with a green background fill, without manually coloring individual cells. Which feature should be configured on the visual? Option A. A custom tooltip page assigned to the matrix. Option B. The Sync Slicers pane. Option C. Conditional formatting on the total sales field using background color with a rule or field-based formatting based on the value. Option D. The Selection pane's Group feature. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is C. Conditional formatting on the total sales field using background color with a rule or field-based formatting based on the value. Here's why. Conditional formatting, accessed via the field's context menu in the visual's Values well, or Format pane, lets you define rules, such as if value greater than 50,000, apply green, or use a color scale/field value, automatically applying background or font color to matching cells without manual styling. Now, why the others are wrong? A. Custom tooltips define what extra information appears in a pop-up when hovering a data point. They do not change a cell's background color based on a threshold. B. Sync slicers controls whether a slicer's selection applies across multiple report pages. It has no relationship to coloring matrix cells based on value. D. The selection pane's group feature is used to organize and layer visual objects on the canvas, grouping shapes/visuals together. It does not apply value-based formatting. Question 35. Visualize and analyze the data. Frostline Appliances has a report with a region slicer on page 1 and a separate region slicer of the same field placed on page 3. Stakeholders want selecting a region on page 1's slicer to automatically apply the same selection to page 3's slicer as well, without manually reselecting it. Which feature enables this? Option A. Sync Slicers. View Sync Slicers pane, enabling sync and, optionally, visibility for the region slicer across both pages. Option B. Edit interactions set to none between the two slicers. Option C. Bookmarks, one for each possible region. Option D. Drill through configured on the region field. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is A. Sync Slicers. View Sync Slicers pane, enabling sync and, optionally, visibility for the region slicer across both pages. Here's why. The Sync Slicers pane lets a slicer's selection state be synchronized across multiple pages, even if the slicer visual itself is only displayed on some of them. So, selecting a region on page 1 automatically updates the filter state wherever that slicer is synced, including page 3. Now, why the others are wrong. B. Edit interactions controls how visuals on the same page respond to each other's selections. Filter, highlight, or no effect. It does not link slicer selections across separate report pages. C. Bookmarks capture and restore a specific state of a report page, filters, visual visibility, sort order, etc., when clicked. They don't automatically propagate a live slicer selection made by a user across pages in real time. D. Drill through lets a user right-click a data point to jump to a detail page pre-filtered by that value. It is a navigation action, not a way to keep two independent slicers of the same field synchronized as the user interacts. If you find this review helpful, please continue, and you may also want to get the complete set, all 360 exam-style questions with full explanations across every core Power BI knowledge area are available in my Udemy course, Microsoft Power BI Data Analyst Associate, PL300. Complete exam preparation and practice question bank. The link is in the description below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video, where I'll walk you through 10 more questions. Let's continue with the next question. Question 36. Visualize and analyze the data. A finance team at Ashworth Distribution needs to generate a precisely formatted invoice-style document with exact pixel positioning, repeating headers, footers, page numbers, and the ability to print hundreds of pages cleanly, pulling data from the same semantic model used by their interactive dashboards. Which Power BI report type is designed for this scenario? Option A. A paginated report. Power BI Report Builder, Power BI Paginated Reports, designed for pixel-perfect, print-ready, multi-page layouts. Option B. An interactive Power BI report with a table visual sized to fit one page. Option C. A dashboard pinned from multiple report pages. Option D. A Q&A visual configured with natural language queries. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is A, a paginated report. Power BI Report Builder, Power BI Paginated Reports, designed for pixel-perfect, print-ready, multi-page layouts. Here's why. Paginated reports, authored in Power BI Report Builder and published to the Power BI service, are specifically designed for precisely formatted, print-ready, multi-page documents such as invoices, with repeating headers, footers, and exact layout control, while still able to connect to Power BI semantic models. Now, why the others are wrong. B. Interactive Power BI reports are optimized for on-screen exploration and generally do not guarantee pixel-perfect print layouts or clean pagination across hundreds of records the way a purpose-built paginated report does. C. A dashboard is a single canvas collection of pinned tiles from one or more reports for at-a-glance monitoring. It is not designed for exact print formatting or paginated document output. D. The Q&A visual answers natural language questions about the data interactively. It is not built for structured, print-ready document generation. Question 37. Visualize and analyze the data. In a Power BI report for Cascade Sporting Goods, an analyst creates a new visual calculation directly on a matrix visual to compute a running total of sales across the month axis, using the new Visual Calculations feature, distinct from a standard DAX measure written in the Fields pane. Which statement correctly distinguishes a visual calculation from a standard measure in this context? Option A. Visual calculations and measures are functionally identical in every respect, with only different icons in the Fields pane. Option B. Visual calculations replace the need for a data model entirely, since they run purely on the currently visible report canvas without any underlying table. Option C. Visual calculations can only be used with card visuals, never with tables or matrices. Option D. A visual calculation is defined and scoped directly within a specific visual, using the visual's own axis or rows as its context, for example, referencing prior rows along month, whereas a standard measure is defined at the model level and is reusable across any visual. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is D. A visual calculation is defined and scoped directly within a specific visual, using the visual's own axis or rows as its context, for example, referencing prior rows along month, whereas a standard measure is defined at the model level and is reusable across any visual. Here's why. Visual calculations are authored directly on a specific visual, like a matrix, and operate over the visual's own structure, such as rows or axis categories, making patterns like running totals or differences between adjacent rows more direct to express relative to that visual's layout. While standard DAX measures are model-level objects evaluated in whatever filter context a visual provides, and are reusable across many visuals and pages. Now, why the others are wrong? A. Visual calculations and measures differ meaningfully in scope and context. A measure is reusable model-wide, while a visual calculation is scoped to and dependent on the specific visual it's defined in. B. Visual calculations still operate on top of the semantic model and the visual's aggregated data. They do not eliminate the need for an underlying data model. C. Visual calculations can be used in table and matrix visuals, among others that support them, not only cards. Matrices are actually a very common use case, for example, for running totals across rows or columns. Question 38. Visualize and analyze the data. An analyst at Marrow & Oak Furniture builds two versions of a sales report page, one showing all product categories, and one filtered to only the outdoor furniture category with a different title. and wants a button that toggles between these two views instantly, preserving other filter selections without duplicating the page. Which feature should be used? Option A, a drill-through page targeting outdoor furniture specifically. Option B, 2 separate report pages with page navigation buttons only. Option C, 2 bookmarks, 1 per view, captured with data and optionally display state selected, paired with buttons set to apply each bookmark. Option D, Q&A natural language visual. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is C. 2 bookmarks, 1 per view, captured with data and optionally display state selected, paired with buttons set to apply each bookmark. Here's why. Bookmarks capture a snapshot of the report state, including filters, slicer selections, and, depending on options, visual visibility or other display settings, and can be applied by a button click, creating one bookmark for all categories and another for outdoor furniture filtered, and wiring buttons to apply each lets users toggle instantly on the same page without duplicating it. Now, why the others are wrong? A, drill-through is meant for navigating from a summary page to a filtered detail page based on a right-click selection of a specific data point, not a general instant toggle button on the same page. B, creating 2 separate pages would duplicate the report page and does not meet the requirement of toggling on a single page without duplication. D, the Q&A visual answers typed natural language questions. It is not a mechanism for toggling between 2 predefined filtered views of a page. Question 39. Visualize and analyze the data. A line chart in a Vantage Grocer's report shows total sales by date. The analyst wants hovering over any data point to show not just the date and sales value, but also a small mini bar chart breaking down that day's sales by store without cluttering the main visual. Which feature should be used? Option A, a custom tooltip page, a separate small report page containing the mini bar chart set as the tooltip for the line chart visual. Option B, the default tooltip, since it will automatically add related visuals. Option C, a bookmark applied on hover. Option D, drill-through filters. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is A, a custom tooltip page, a separate small report page containing the mini bar chart set as the tooltip for the line chart visual. Here's why. A custom tooltip is built by creating a separate, often small, tooltip-sized report page containing the desired visual, such as a mini bar chart by store, then setting that page as the tooltip in the Target Visuals format pane, so hovering a data point displays the richer custom content. Now, why the others are wrong? B, the default tooltip only shows the field values plotted on the visual, like date and sales, automatically. It does not add extra visuals like a mini bar chart without being explicitly configured as a custom tooltip. C, bookmarks are applied via button clicks or selections, not automatically triggered by a mouse hover event. D, drill-through filters control what data is passed to a detail page when a user right-clicks and selects drill-through. They are not a hover-triggered tooltip mechanism. And that's a wrap on this video. Nice work getting through those 10 questions. If this helped, you're going to want the complete set, all 360 exam-style questions, with full explanations across every core Power BI knowledge area are available in my Udemy course. Microsoft Power BI Data Analyst Associate, PL 300. Complete exam preparation and practice question bank. The link is in the description below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video, where I'll walk you through 10 more questions. See you in the next video. Question 40. Visualize and analyze the data. On a report page for Ember & Co. Roasters, a bar chart of sales by category sits next to a line chart of sales trend by month. When a user clicks a bar in the bar chart, the analyst wants the line chart to remain fully visible and unfiltered, showing all months regardless of which category bar was clicked, essentially having no reaction at all to that click. Which setting should the analyst configure? Option A. Set the bar chart's interaction with the line chart to Highlight using Edit Interactions. Option B. Set the bar chart's interaction with the line chart to None using Edit Interactions. Option C. Delete the line chart's relationship to the category table. Option D. Add a page-level filter on category. Take a moment and make your choice. The correct answer is B. Set the bar chart's interaction with the line chart to None using Edit Interactions. Here's why. With the bar chart selected and Format, Edit Interactions turned on, clicking the None icon on the line chart's interaction control disables any filtering or highlighting effect from the bar chart's selection, leaving the line chart fully visible and unaffected. Now, why the others are wrong? A. Highlight would visually emphasize the matching data points in the line chart while dimming the rest, a reaction to the click, which is the opposite of the no reaction at all requirement described. C. There is no relationship directly between a line chart visual and a table in this sense. Visual interactions are governed by report-level cross-filtering settings and edit interactions, not deleted data model relationships, which would break the whole report, not just this one interaction. D. A page-level filter changes what data is shown to all visuals on the page persistently. It does not specifically control the click-driven interaction behavior between two particular visuals.